Hello, and welcome to a Jib Stopper episode of the Drywall Podcast. I am your host, once again, Nick Harmon. With us today, we have, all the way from Tauranga, New Zealand, we have Brad Mckinnon of Brad Mckinnon Plastering for his first visit on the Drywall Podcast. Obviously, we dive into the history of Brad Mckinnon to see how he got into this rascally trade, but also how they were doing some crazy artistic structural finishes back in the day that appealed to his artistic nature. So, of course, that segues into a conversation about fresco harmony and aspects of specialty wall finishes and faux finishes. We discuss covering wallpaper and the transition to running the automatic tools, but we also discussed this OE experience he went on for 2 years.
My best mate Nath said one day that I'm going on an OE, I'm going travelling, do you want to come? And I was a bit hesitant at first, but everyone sort of said, you might as well go now. So I decided, yeah, okay, let's go. So we went to London because New Zealand is part of the Commonwealth and we can get working visas pretty easy.
Okay.
And we went straight to a pub in Streatham Common in southwest London, as you do, and worked in a pub for a year. And we saved up some money and brought an old ex-Bedford ambulance camper van and drove around Europe for 3 months.
Cool.
Before coming back. And then I started working at this Fine Art Plasterwork, it was called, in Norbury. Shout out to those guys.
Yeah.
They're still around, actually. I see them on Instagram, still making plaster cornice.
We go in depth about his overseas experience in England and Ireland, but we also discuss the BCITO training in New Zealand and coming up in the trades. We give some serious props to Morph Sander at one point, and we also talk about how great James is and his Morph Sander, but also how challenging it can be creating content on social media. All that and more on this episode of the Drywall Podcast. Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Can anyone hear me? Okay. All right. One last time. This episode is brought to you by Ames Tools. That's right, Ames, that huge ass company that everybody has heard of and loves. The company that pioneered automatic taping tools and finishing tools since all the way back in 1939. Well, today Ames is leading the industry with not just their automatic tools, but with their rental program. Built for the job site demands, whether you're running a crew or just getting started, Ames gives you access to the fastest, most reliable tools in the trade without the upfront cost of buying. You get factory fresh tools every time, fully calibrated and ready to go. Break something? No problem. Just swap it out at your local Ames store and get back to work. Their reasonable daily rates means no idle tools eating into your budget, no maintenance or repair costs, and no tying up your money with gear that's sitting in the van. It's financial freedom with zero downtime. Plus, Ames Tools offers training. What? Yeah, you heard me right. Ames Tools offers training. Whether you want a quick overview or in-depth support, they'll make sure that you're confident with every tool you rent. You want to know more? Visit shopamestools.com or stop by your nearest Ames location to learn more. But for now, we've got all the way from Tauranga, New Zealand, Brad Mckinnon with Brad Mckinnon Plastering on the 140th episode of the Drywall Podcast. Let's get into it. All the way from New Zealand.
Yes. Good morning.
Technology.
Yeah. First ever Zoom meeting. I had to download Zoom and create an account. First time.
Piece of cake. Brad Mckinnon Plastering. Bay of Plenty.
That's it. Yeah. yeah, right, living on the beach. So
You guys, and you, of course, you guys have plenty. You don't need anything more.
no, that's it. Plenty of sunshine, plenty of beach, plenty of ocean. Yeah.
Love, we got sunshine. Sounds wonderful. And it's a pretty cool name. Uh, the plastering girl, she faded away out of social media a little bit, but she was on the podcast. She was from Auckland, if my memory serves.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Have you met her?
I haven't met her. I've only just had the odd conversation on Instagram regarding
Okay.
some work practices, but no, and I don't know what's happened to her. So yeah.
All right. I'm glad you accepted my invitation to come on to the Drywall podcast. I throw it out there sometimes. I never know what somebody's going to do or not do. I appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, no, glad to be here. I've been listening to your podcast for the last couple of months now after I
Okay.
discovered them, and it's really interesting learning about everyone because you see these people every day on Instagram, but you
Yeah.
don't really know about them. So it's been really interesting learning, hearing their stories,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Crazy
it's been good.
drywallers. Crazy
Yeah,
drywallers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, before we
Now,
start, I should probably just let you know that there's different names for us around the world.
I was just going to say that. Is it dry? Is it dry lining over there?
I we are called jib stoppers in New Zealand.
Got it. That's my favorite. Jip stoppers. How do you spell
Yeah,
that?
GIB and
Jip
then stopper,
stopper.
STOPP, yeah, or jib stopping. Um, you've probably never heard of that before.
No.
So the term jib comes from the New Zealand manufacturer of plasterboard. They're
Okay.
called jib,
Jip.
and then stopping. I even had to do some research on this a couple of years ago when I was just going, what the hell does stopping? Where does that come from? What does that mean?
Yeah.
And it means, well, this is what I found out. It means a long time ago when they were making glass bottles and they needed to plug the bottle with a cork, they referred to that as stopping the hole or putting a stopper in the glass bottle. And I guess that's
Yeah.
where it came from. Like, if you want to fill a hole in the wall, you need to stop that hole. You need to
Okay.
put some plaster in the hole to stop the hole. So that's where
Hey.
that came from, I believe. And then
Okay.
they added to jib stopping. Yeah. So
They would use that
Refer-
expression here of stopping. That is used here, but not for. It wouldn't be associated with drywall.
okay. Yeah. So I'll probably refer to jib or stopping maybe through the interview, just so you know. That's what I'm talking about.
Good heads
So
up.
and
Good.
yeah, and we don't even say drywall here. Really, it's
Okay.
like plasterboard's called jib because that's who makes it. You know, they've got market share in New Zealand.
Boy, I'll
So we'd
say.
say,
Yeah.
yeah, well, we say, oh, that wall needs jibbing, or we're going to put the jib up tomorrow, and then the stopper's going to come along and stop it. So,
Stop it.
but
Get out of here.
because of social media and because of all these American renovation shows on TV now, you know, the term drywall and drywall finishing is becoming a lot more prominent here. So
You've got a Comet shirt on there. That's how we met, was through Dieter was like, dude, you got to send some product to this guy in New Zealand. I think there's a great market for New Zealand. He wants me to send the product everywhere, and that sounds great, but there's logistics involved in shipping all over the place, as you know. At this point, it occurred to me it might be more beneficial for you to get product if you wanted to try it through CSR. But he did say it piqued your interest a little bit, the Fresco Harmony, although you haven't used it yet.
no, I've been watching your videos and listening
Okay.
to the Whitby drywall where he interviewed you about it and just learning about it and
Oh, right.
yeah, it makes sense. I did a couple of years ago do the Venetian plaster course
Okay.
because I was really interested in that. But it just turned out I was so busy with jib stopping and
Yeah.
drywall finishing. It's just and I'm just on my own as well, so um, it wasn't really practical for me to start doing that. And you sort of just about need another little warehouse to store all this stuff with the Venetian stuff. And but then fresco, it just makes sense, you know. Just you've got the
What
mud
about it?
in the van already. It just absolutely makes sense. And
Plaster. So you took a. We'll back up to your history, and it's different for me doing episodes in the afternoon. I normally do them in the morning,
oh yeah,
so you'll have to pardon me. I've been on the phone a lot today.
okay, yeah, no
It's just
worries. Yeah.
a different energy at 9 a.m. versus 3 p.m. And it's 9 a.m. tomorrow in New
Yes,
Zealand.
yep, that's right.
And I said the same thing with Alice Brooking. Brad's coming to us from the future. It's
Yeah,
Tuesday morning. Here it's Monday afternoon.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's it like in the future?
It's the same,
Amazing.
exactly the same.
It's plenty. There's plenty of time in the future.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, see my jokes. They're not quite in the morning. I'm more like on top of it. Maybe I feel like I don't know. But I like to joke. I like to keep it fun and I like to hear people's stories. And I think that's what makes the Drywall podcast fun and interesting. Why we get into this trade, all this stuff. Let's go back into the past from the future and talk about how Brad got into drywalling or jib stopping, as it were, in New Zealand. Was your dad like into this trade?
yeah. So he was a plasterer his whole life, and
Okay.
I was sort of getting towards the end of school and sort of didn't know what sort of doing, and he just said, "Right, come on, coming with me one day." And I went along, and yeah, I really enjoyed it straight away because I was really into art and creating stuff, and that's pretty much what it is. It's and he was that sort of old school plasterer where it was all the old fibrous plaster, the plastic
Okay.
cornice, all the moldings and arches and that sort of
Okay.
stuff. And
Okay.
he was doing it. That was really popular back in, I think it was about 96. I
Okay.
started with him. And that's really kind of artistic, all that stuff. And houses
Definitely.
back then, it was the builder that we worked for, and he was at that time he was just working for one builder who had just multiple houses going at a time, and we'd go from one to the next. But he was always looking for ways to create the house. You know, what cool detail can we do? What about a curved ceiling?
Okay.
What about a round bulkhead over the kitchen and with curved cornice moldings everywhere?
Okay.
And so we'd be on jobs. Some jobs would be there for a month, the two of us, just on a house, just for all these fancy details and stuff. And that was really cool. I really enjoyed it, and
Yeah.
completed my apprenticeship. And yeah, and I worked with him for about 4 years, and then in 2000 I went traveling.
You said you had sort of an artistic bent. I did as well, which I think is what attracted me to drywall early on was that artistic nature of the medium, and it attracted you to these, cool things that were being done. What type of plaster were you guys using back then?
So just the same as today, just setting compounds and multi-purpose compounds.
But how are you creating these beautiful, like bulbous features?
Yeah, so the builder would build all the like he'd build the arch out of timber and then put the
Okay.
drywall over it. and then we'd come along and bullnose all the corners and then plaster it up, you know, to a level
Okay.
5 finish. And then same with the curved ceilings, they were all curved with plasterboard. Had to be soaked with a bit of water and put over
Okay.
a round template just to sort of sag
Yep.
overnight, and then the next day it would get installed. And then the plaster cornice was all fibrous plaster, which was made off site in a factory,
Okay.
and we'd install that. And then all the with all the there was a lot of curved details in these houses, and pillars which had to have specialty molds made up at that radius to go around the curve. Um,
Sure.
and they got all and those that cornice got cast in the molds, and then we'd install it on site. So yeah, there was a lot
Lot
of
of lot
detail,
of
a lot
work.
of yeah. Even the bathrooms had the arches over the bath with the columns on either side of the bath to sort of look like that sort of Roman,
Yeah.
the Roman feature there. And but he was always
Sounds
looking for ways that the builder to, you know, because he was building houses to complete stage and then to sell. So he wanted something to make them stand out and look different
yeah.
to get that purchase so he could move on to his next one, and which is a lot different from today, which is, it's more just square boxes these days. How can we make them cheaper and how can we do them faster? And
Yeah.
so that
Well, I
was,
mean, that's Fresco Harmony sort of I'm trying to bridge that gap with a cheap,
yeah,
fast
yeah,
method of creating like a plaster look that hopefully is, you know, we can do something cooler than just, run and gun. But that's also makes it challenging to create something new, even whether it's, you
yeah,
took a Venetian plaster class, even like inserting Venetian plaster or specialty wall finish into the mix is challenging because these builders are in such a hurry to get the project done. It's just easier to paint. And I think that it gets lost, but we're trying to figure it out and crack that code where we can get these walls looking beautiful again, you know.
yeah. Well, I'm even watching that. You've got his T-shirt on there, called Jamie. He's posting a lot of stuff at the moment,
Crushing
and
it.
he's doing some wow. It's just some
Yeah.
crazy stuff with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching your videos on YouTube, and you're putting on the same color twice, and then I noticed he was doing a white color first, and then a
Yeah.
or a dark
Yeah.
color first, and then I was wow, this it's kind of unlimited what you can do, I guess, and
When you get the color, the immediate tendency is to go crazy. And I
yeah,
get
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting too. I don't know if you've heard of this, but back when I was doing those houses that I was just referring to, we'd do those arches in the entryway, but then it would get finished in a marble finish. But that was the painter's job, and he'd come in. It was a specialty trade with
Yeah.
a feather and some sponges, and he'd do this marble effect
It's like,
just using paint. Yeah,
yep.
and it was pretty amazing back then, and still now.
Yeah.
I've been back to these houses because they got renovated, and it still looks, spot on today.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do it here. They call it faux, FAUX, faux finishing. Do they call it faux where you're at?
I have no idea what it's called. I don't see it anymore. It
But like
was. This
marbling,
is.
they call it
Yeah.
marbling. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they do
It's
it. They
all.
do it here, but some people are specialized in it where they can make it look like anything, like wood grain. I knew an artist out of Taos, New Mexico, which is close to where I'm at. He was from Switzerland, a really amazing artist, and he could do anything with paint, man. He was so good. And he was a plaster guy too, and he did fresco and harmony, and he did, traditional plat. He could do anything, Just some people
Yeah.
are just like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're artists, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. Back to the story. So you were working with your dad. You guys are doing these plaster setups. No tools at that time. You learned to finish all by hand.
Yeah, so I think that was a good thing, and he says it's a good thing too. His name is Rod Mckinnon. Shout out to Dad; he'll be listening.
Shout out to Rod.
Yeah, so learned all by hand tools, which was good. And then even we didn't even have a sanding machine. It was all done by hand, pole sanding, ceilings and stuff. But
Okay.
then eventually we got some boxes
Okay.
and started boxing ceilings and walls, and that's and a pump, and that's pretty much all that we got when I was with him.
You were there when your when Rod transitioned from hand finishing to uh automatic tools?
Yeah, just the boxes, nothing else.
Just the boxes and a pump.
Yeah.
And what were you using? What kind?
So we at the time it was called Premiere.
Okay.
I don't know if you know
Yeah.
this, but
Yeah.
which is now Tape Pro.
Yep.
So we must have brought those in around '98, and
Okay.
got the 8 inch and the 10 inch and the pump and the handle, and that was it. And we still taped in by hand, still did our internal corners by hand, and yeah, it was a game changer. It was so good,
Was it
especially for the
challenging
ceilings.
though? I mean, Rod's been finishing his whole life. Was it
Yeah.
challenging for you guys to make that transition? Were there videos? I mean, because 98, you don't have the internet where you can just go watch videos and check out a new way of doing jib stopping. Was it pretty prevalent in your area?
Yeah, guys had them, but we didn't know about them. We didn't know much about them. It was hard to learn about them, and you just had to learn on
Okay.
the go.
Okay.
And it was hard getting, because the first thing you want to do is put it on the highest setting and put as much mud on as you can. But you soon learn that that's not the way to go, and you want to sort of put as less on as you can, really. So that took a bit of learning, and then we were wiping down after because we were putting the mud on, and then hang on, this is too much, so we're wiping down after, and then you sort of learn there's no point putting it on and taking it off again. You just set the box on two or three, and then so you don't have to wipe anything off, and it's perfectly flat. So yeah, that took a bit of learning, but we got there, and of course back then it was all vertical on the walls, so there was no horizontal fixing back then. And of course, it was all, I don't know if it was the same over there, it was all the grooved doors and windows. So the
Okay.
plasterboard would have to get fit into the grooves on the doors and the windows. So you'd always
Oh,
have your joints above and below the windows and above the door corners, which we don't do now, and it's not allowed now because of cracking and stuff. So it's all the horizontal fixing now with the flush doors and the architraves that go on after, which
okay.
is which is probably the same where you are.
Hmm.
Yeah. So vertical joints with the box is a lot harder than horizontal joints, harder on the body. But yeah, we did that. And of
Yeah,
course,
you
back
got to
then it was
thin
all,
down. You have to thin down your mud.
yeah. But it was all
But
wallpaper finish back then as well, which
oh,
made life easy. It's completely not that now. Wallpaper's disappeared.
well, you
Everyone,
probably though if you had fresco harmony over there, you could go over it. Do you go over wallpaper? Do you have like remodel projects that you do where you go in and
yep. So that's
eliminate
pretty much
wallpaper?
pretty much everything I do now is remodels. But
Okay.
I don't go over wallpaper. I always tell the homeowner to, if you want a proper finish, a good finish, or
Yeah.
the best finish, to remove the wallpaper.
Oh,
Um,
wait. Have you tried going over wallpaper?
I have done because so, the odd time when the paper will just not come off,
Yeah.
um, and people say, look, I don't mind if it is going to bubble here and there, that's fine. I just don't want to. They say I don't take wallpaper off. I always say to the homeowners, you either have to take it off or get someone to take it off.
Oh, okay. But you've never tried going over it.
No, I have. But you do get the odd bubbling.
Sometimes. I mean, people will like say, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that." But I've had a like if you had like success rate, 85% success rate
Yeah. Yeah,
going
those
over.
really, really old papers that are really stuck on and won't come off are fine, you know.
Yeah.
And or I say paint over the wallpaper first, and then I can skim over it.
There you
So,
go.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they're doing the fiberfuse. Have you seen that?
Yes, yes, yeah. I use a bit of that
Yeah.
for the old fibrous plaster walls in the really old houses.
Yeah.
So those have got those like spider web cracking everywhere, and so I fully fiberglass the whole wall in that
Yep.
situation.
Cool.
But yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Wallpaper. That's crazy. And so you're doing predominantly remodel now, but we're ahead a little bit. You're still working with Rod around 1998. You seem pretty young. How old are
I'm
you?
46.
46. You're younger
Yeah.
than me. Now everybody's younger than me all of a sudden. I hit 49. It's like all of a sudden in your 40s you go through this like more metamorphosis, you know? You're young, kind of young, and you get
Uh,
old.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm still young. I think we are still
Yeah.
young in our 40s, 50s,
Yeah.
60s, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
70, 80s old.
80. Okay. Yeah, we'll cross the old bridge when we get to 80. And in
Dad
the
just turned 80, so he'll be saying, I'm not old. What are you talking about?
Rod, if you're listening, you're excluded, buddy. You're excluded. Very cool. So, but this is 98. It's quite a while ago. You guys are getting into the drywall tools. And I guess I mean, do you go all the way? Do you start implementing all of the tools? Are you using any other brands like Can-Am for the corners? Do you start getting other tools involved?
It was just the boxes then. And then I went traveling 1000. So I left Dad and he carried on for a little bit with another guy. And he finished up not so long after that. I think he finished up in about 2005. Because he had enough. You know, his body was getting tired. So he moved on to a
Yeah.
couple of other things. But I moved to England for a couple of years, and I worked for a a plaster cornice manufacturer who
Okay.
made it and installed it. So I worked for them for a year installing plaster cornice throughout London, but not just cornice. It was all the plaster moldings
Why'd you move
and
to
stuff like that,
England?
which was really my best mate Nath said one day that I'm going on an OE. I'm going traveling. Do you want to come? And I was a bit hesitant at first, but everyone sort of said, "Ah, you might as well go now." So I decided, yeah, okay, let's go. So we went to London because New Zealand is part of the Commonwealth, and we can get working visas pretty easy.
Okay.
And we went straight to a pub in Streatham Common in southwest London, as you
Yeah.
do, and worked in a pub for a year. And we saved up some money and brought an old ex Bedford ambulance camper van, and drove around
Yeah.
Europe for 3 months
Cool.
before coming back. And then I started working at this um, fine art plasterwork, it was called, in Norbury. Shout out to those guys. They're
Yeah.
still around, actually. I'm, I see them on Instagram, still making plaster cornice. So yeah, they
Cool.
were cool to work with, and we did some
Y-
really, really interesting projects in London. It was all the old Victorian houses there had
Yeah.
just as much detail as you could on the walls and ceilings,
Yeah.
and that was yeah, that was really cool to do that for a
Really
year.
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And you had that experience from early on too with all the specialty wall work that you were doing with your dad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was a good thing that I was able to do that, because when I went in to see them to ask if they had any jobs available, I remember the guy saying to me, "Oh, you're from New Zealand. They don't do this sort of stuff over there, do they?" I said, "Not. They do. There's not many people that do it anymore." He said, "All right, go see this guy tomorrow, and he'll tell me if you're any good." And
Yeah.
luckily, he was happy. He said, "Yep, nah, he's onto it."
Yeah. He
So
was like, yeah, he can do
yeah,
it.
yeah. But again, it was a little bit different in England, because in New Zealand, we it was installed with a plaster adhesive. It was stuck up. Everything was stuck up. Where
Okay.
in England, it was all screwed up first, and then finished off with plaster. So you'd fill all the gaps in after with plaster
You
and do
said
your motors.
OE. What does that mean? You went to England OE.
Yep,
What does that
overseas
mean?
experience.
Okay. Overseas experience. Very cool. And sorry, carry on. Do you the difference between, I guess, cornice installation in New Zealand versus England would be in New Zealand they stick it up, and in
Yeah,
England they screw it up.
yeah. So when the plaster cornice is cast on the mold in England, they install like a timber lath on each edge inside in the cornice or
Cool.
in the molding or whatever's being made,
Yeah.
and that allows you to screw up the top and bottom edges, so it's going through that timber lath.
I'd
Yeah,
love to learn that shit. And then you were doing like molds, like cast. You were learning about
yeah.
casting.
I wasn't. I was just installing. They had
Okay.
guys in the factory doing all that stuff.
Okay.
I was just. I'd be on site installing all the stuff they were making.
So you didn't get into casting too much, but
No,
still it
no.
catered to your artistic nature. Were you making more doing that than you were making in the pub?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
You hung out in England for what, 2 years?
Yeah. So we worked in the pub for a year. We were getting, I think it was about 150 pounds a week working in this pub.
Okay.
But it was living. It was everything was there. All your food was there. It was a it was a pub bar. You got all your drinks shouted for you. So that $150 was we
You can
saved that
stretch
every
it.
week.
You can stretch it. If the alcohol is getting paid for, then whatever. What was it gonna? It's interesting. There's no such thing as an overseas experience. I mean, people will travel in the United States, but I love that it's such a common thing in where you're from that they have an acronym
Yeah. It,
describing like, oh, we're gonna go live abroad for a couple years and like have
yeah.
this experience. What a powerful, life-changing thing to do in
Yeah.
your life that helps you grow and you learn about a different culture
Yeah.
in England, London no less. So you were living in London
Yeah. Yeah.
and you
It's
convinced your friend to go with you.
he convinced me to go with him.
What's his name? We better give him a
Nathan.
shout out.
Nathan.
Nathan, dude. Are you guys still buds today?
We are still buds. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
I was actually just around at his place on the weekend patching some holes in his walls. So,
Dude, you don't go on an OE experience to England with your buddy and then, fall out after that, man. That'll make you friends for life.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
especially sharing a camper van for 3 months. Yeah, that definitely.
All right, let's talk about the traveling adventure. So you worked for a period of time. You were in the pubs. Did you travel at that time, or did you wait until after your cornice experience before you started traveling? Or was it like on the tail end of the OE, we're going to travel for 3 months and then go home?
When we got to London, we didn't have any money, so we had to work in the pub. We worked in the pub for 9 months, saved up money, and we brought the camper van. Then we took 3 months out and we drove around Europe.
Okay.
Then we came back to London because we still had another year left on our visa. And I noticed this plaster shop because it was only down the road from the pub we worked at. The pub was called the Pied Bull in Streatham Common. It's still there today. And again, we'd earn some money again, and we'd take off. We went to Turkey and did
Cool.
a big trip around there, and then you know it's just the common thing and for New Zealanders and Australians is to
Okay.
go to England, and that's because we're all part of the Commonwealth. We're allowed to go there and work there for a couple of years, and that's why people do it. It's really common thing.
Yet once again, I want to emphasize when you are from the United States, and maybe people get it, maybe they don't. We're There's such a privilege that we don't consider because realistically, we can go most places. If you have a US passport, you can just go anywhere. And I don't think that Americans consider that like in other countries it's more dynamic to get to travel outside of your country to certain places. That passports aren't as versatile as a United States passport. Is that accurate?
Um, we can travel anywhere. It's just
Okay.
being able to work. Just being able to work is the thing.
This
Um,
has to do with the is a 2 year visa?
yeah, it's just the agreement between the governments that I think
Okay.
um, English people can come here. This is going back. Things might have changed now. They can come here and work on a working visa. Your employer is happy with you. They can sponsor you. Like they can sign an agreement saying they'll keep you employed for another year, so you can stay on if you wanted to. Um, and that's
Did you get an offer to stay on from your employer?
no. I'd had enough by then, and but
Sorry, fine art plasterwork. That's enough. We're going home.
but I didn't go home. I went to Ireland for
Oh my gosh. More beer drinking in
because
Ireland.
because I had a 1 year visa in Ireland, was able to get a 1 year working visa. I thought I might as well use it and just go and check out the country and see what it's like.
What's it
And I
like though to be gone? I mean, I've left for I think 3 weeks might be the longest that I've been out of this country. What is it like to be gone from your home for a year? I can't imagine.
well, it was you're having such a good time. It's you
You
don't
were
even think
young,
about it.
you were younger, maybe in your
Yeah,
20. You were in your
yeah.
20s. You got this weird car that you're driving around. What did you call it?
So it was an ex ambulance Bedford.
Okay, so
Um,
it's an old refurbished ambulance.
yeah,
Oh my
converted into
God.
a camper van. Yeah, and
And it ran well.
it ran well. It had the sliding doors on the side, so they
Okay.
slid back and locked in. So obviously, you're driving around Spain and France in the hot weather. You got the doors open.
Beautiful.
It's so good. Just
Yeah.
driving down the coast.
And if you hit any traffic, you can just turn on the siren and
Yeah, well, that would have been cool if it still had one. But yeah,
very cool. But you went up to Ireland.
yeah. So said to myself, I might as well go check it out. Use my visa, just work in a pub, check out the country. But
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
I was looking for a job in a pub, I sort of said, "Oh, let's just have a look to see what plastering jobs there are in Ireland. Is there anything happening in Ireland?" And straight away, this one came up, paying good money. I can't remember. I think it was 20 euros an hour, whereas the pub I was looking at was paying like 6 euros an hour. And I
Okay.
was like, "Hang on, let's ring this guy, see what's going on." And he said, I told him about myself, and he said, "Can you start tomorrow?" And I went, "Well, I don't have any tools on me. I don't have anything, and I don't even know where you are. We're at." He said, I mean, he's in Cork, which is south west Ireland. I was in Dublin. I
Okay.
had to go get a map and find out where Cork was, and I jumped on
Okay.
the bus and went down there and brought some tools and went and started the following day. I was there for 8 years.
Shut the fuck. 8 years. What were you and
But
you're doing like mud drywall stuff. Why'd you like Ireland so much?
Ireland is beautiful, and because
Yeah,
of the people. The people are so
I'm
beautiful,
going.
so friendly.
I'm
You
going.
know.
That's
Oh,
it. I'm gonna go.
and it's a beautiful country. You know, the summers are long. The sun's out till 10 o'clock at night. Yes, obviously the winters are cold, but that's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of rain, right?
Yeah, a lot of rain, but that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, if it's raining, you just go into a pub. You sit down and you start talking to someone right next to you. It's fine. You know,
That sounds
Guinness warms
lovely.
you up. Yeah.
Eight
But
years. So what age were you when you went to Ireland, and then what age were you at the end?
so I went to Ireland in 2003. So I would have been 25, I think. Yep. And then I left in 2011. I would have been 31 or something like that when I left.
That is so cool. And like so like from early 20s to like 30s, early 30s.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were in Ireland. Did you meet somebody over there? Did you hook up with your wife? I mean, how does that work, man? Because you're always in the back of your mind. You're like, I'm going back to New Zealand at some point.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. I did meet someone, but it didn't work out. And I always knew I was going to go home. So
Yeah,
in the end, I was just sort of enjoying working and you know, and enjoying traveling still. I was still traveling from Ireland to places. And
so cool.
yeah, it's just so easy. And you know, England and Ireland are such a good base to travel
Yeah,
to other countries from, and it's cheap. You know, you can get those £1 flights. It's ridiculous.
right.
It's almost cheaper to go to France for the weekend than to go somewhere in Ireland for the weekend. So
Well, and also if you're listening too, and for you, Brad, we are going to England to GWI to do a fresco harmony training. If you're inclined in October, I think call Jamie. He's interested in going. We got Chad. There's going to be more information coming out, but it's a small retailer in Swindon, England, and we're all just going to go over there and hang out and do some fresco harmony and have fun. You're more than welcome to come, man.
I'd love to. I'd love to, but I'm a I have a family now. I have two young
Oh,
girls, so that won't be happening.
how old? How old are the girls?
4 and 7.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Dakota
are.
and Tallulah.
Congratulations, and shout out to Dakota and
Tallulah.
Tallulah. Very good names. I like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And then you're married, I assume.
yeah. Married to Trudy. Yep, for 2.5 years now. Yep,
Congratulations. Cool. You got a little
yep.
family going over there. That's awesome. I love it. Very cool. So maybe not England this trip, but yeah, you
No.
have to wait. You have to wait a little while till those kids get. Wait, I
Yeah,
mean, this goes to show you too that like Brad got his traveling out of his system. Like you
yeah,
experienced life early on. I got to travel too. I really like explored in my 20s. It's like you got to get it out of your system a little bit. And if you're listening and you're younger or in your 20s or 30s and you don't have anything weighing you down, you might consider
yeah,
it.
yeah. Definitely, and you know, getting your apprenticeship early as a lot of people do. A lot of people do that. You know, they get their apprenticeship or they get
Yeah.
qualified or whatever, and then they go traveling. And you know that the money's a bit better. You can travel the world at the same time and get that experience.
It's
And
true.
yeah,
No, I was an apprentice, like, yeah, 21, 22. And then it just occurred to me like, oh, I can finish now pretty good. I could get a job anywhere. And I could. Like it's true.
yeah,
Like people are
yeah,
looking for skilled laborers. So especially somebody with drywall skills, especially nowadays when I don't know if it's the same in New Zealand, but students are going into college more, and
yeah,
they're not going into the trades as much.
yeah,
And you still make a really good wage in the trades,
Yeah,
and you can carry that knowledge anywhere with you.
yeah,
Is that true for New Zealand?
yeah, yeah. And then there's a company here called the BCITO, which is the Building and Construction Training Organization, a training industry organization, who
Okay.
um, are getting people in the trades, and they're
I
doing a
think
really good job.
I think Dieter mentioned that. Are you affiliated with that organization in some capacity?
No, but I did my qualification through them, and
Okay.
and after COVID and all that sort of thing, they were trying to get a lot more people through the trades, and they were even offering free fees at the time. And because the employers would pay the fees, but they were offering to pay them for the employer to, so
Yeah.
employers would take more people on, which was a good thing. Um,
Okay. Well,
yeah,
let's back up though. You're in Ireland for 8 years. You go back to New Zealand. Dad's probably done at that point,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that when you started your own gig.
yeah, yep. Working for myself, it was sort of a weird time. People were saying there's not much work around. You
Sure.
might have to go to Christchurch. They had recently, back in 2011, I think, was the big earthquakes, and there was a big rebuild going on down there. And
Wait, did you
I,
say Christ Church?
yes,
That's the
Christchurch.
name of
Yep,
the town.
the name of the city. Yep, in the
Okay.
South Island of New Zealand. Yeah, and
Interesting names. Bay of Plenty and Christ Church. I love it.
yeah. Well, the Bay of Plenty is a region, and
Okay.
the city I'm in is called Tauranga.
Wait,
But
wait,
yeah,
wait.
but
How do you spell that?
Tauranga.
Okay. And that's in the area of Bay of Plenty, but Christchurch is a city.
Yeah.
Is it a religious city?
No, no.
A lot of
no.
heathens. A lot of heathens in Christchurch. I'm going.
Yeah, yeah. If you come to New Zealand, you'll definitely be going there because it's the gateway to the bottom of the South Islands where
I'd
all the
love
big
to
scenery
go.
is.
You're close to Australia.
Yeah, yeah. 3 hour
So
flight.
so how about this Morph Sander guy?
Yeah,
You know about him. Did you listen to his episode?
yeah. I did. What a legend that guy is, James. Yeah, yeah. Definitely.
Kicking ass.
It's like everything he did in his career was leading up to this moment of,
Sanding. Like so
but
yeah, if
all
you
all those jobs he did and those little things he did, it was
yeah.
amazing listening to his story. And then all of a sudden he wants to start making Sanders and
I
he's got
know.
all this experience.
I couldn't even ask enough questions. It's like, how in the world did you know to get like a 3D printer and to like make this thing? And then not only does he make the tools, but like all the marketing, like all that
Yeah,
video shit. And
yeah,
then we're talking, he's like, that's why I closed the curtain a little bit because we're talking about video lighting. And he's like, your lighting's horrible. And I'm like, I don't care. More people listen anyway. like, uh, just really inspirational, and
yeah,
what a character. So cool. And
yeah,
do you follow him on social media?
yeah. I've been using his Sanders for a while now. They're
What do you think, man?
really good, really good.
Pretty good.
I sent him a message and said, "Look, I'm keen to try one. Send me one over, and I'll do some stuff on my channels." And so he did. Uh, he sent me some stuff over, and yeah, like I've been using. Well, if you probably follow my stuff on YouTube and stuff, I've been using the Richards or Richards. I
Yeah.
think you pronounce it after listening to Teak Interiors
Yeah,
on her
well,
podcast.
Canada says words a little bit differently. So Richard versus Richard Kalur, but they say color, but they spell it with a U.
Oh yeah. Oh, we spell it with a U. Oh, interesting.
Maybe we
Yeah.
spell it wrong. We're here to learn.
Yeah. But yeah, I was using that cornice sanding sponge for a long
Okay.
time, and I swore by it, and I made a video saying this is the
Okay.
best corner sander ever.
Okay.
And then I tried the morph sander, and yeah, wow, yeah, big difference. And that's my favorite corner sander, and I'm actually making a video on it at the moment for YouTube.
I love
So
it. I'm sending this. I'm sending this to James. You heard it here on the Drywall Podcast. Brad Mckinnon, he had a favorite sander, but the morph came along and just destroyed his old sander.
yeah,
Why
yeah,
is we're and you think something so stupid like a sander? Why is the morph sander so good?
it's getting right into the corner of the corner,
Okay.
the apex of the corner, because your machine sander pretty much sands 90 to 95% of that internal. It's just
Okay.
right in that apex you can't get. You need your sanding block, you know. But the
Okay.
morph sander has got the tip on it.
It's got that
All the
tip. That
okay,
tip's a big
all
deal. That tip's
yeah,
a big deal.
yeah. All the other corner sanders on the market don't get into the apex, but it's the
Okay.
tip that makes it. Yeah,
It's that freaking tip.
yeah,
The morph sander does.
yeah. And
And
the
hey, if you're
Richards,
listening, I'm not sponsored by Morph Sander in any way. I'm just talking about the guy. He blows me
yeah,
away. Like,
yeah,
and part
yeah,
of me is jealous. Like, he's does such a good job of marketing. I'm like, how did you learn to do all this crap? You know, like you do social media stuff. I haven't watched a lot of your stuff yet. I'll check it out on YouTube for sure. But like, it's hard to make video content. So when somebody bursts onto the scene, like James Y. Honig, and he's making this content, I'm instantly like, who taught you to do this? Some people just do it. They're just like
yeah,
brilliant, you know?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I've always been into that sort of creative video making, and uh, before I had my plastering YouTube channel, I had just a personal YouTube channel where we did a lot of hiking around New Zealand and adventures, and I'd film them all and put them on YouTube. But it took a lot of editing, like you'd know yourself. There's a lot of work in editing and then cutting to music, you know.
Yeah.
It used up a lot of my time.
Wait a
And
second.
soon,
Can I pause you a little bit? I'm sorry to
yeah.
interrupt again. I make adventuring videos from camping in the United States, and they're on my YouTube channel.
Ah, so
And
is that another what YouTube channel is that?
Nick Harmon, Nick, like
Oh,
just my
okay. So
name. Yeah. There's like 7 subscribers.
I found your Fresco Harmony YouTube channel, but you've got another personal one then with
I have
some
3. I have the Drywall Podcast, I have Fresco Harmony, and then I have Nick Harmon.
right,
So
yeah.
I do video editing of my son playing soccer, but then I do
Yeah.
these videographies of these hikes that my friends and I do in the United States, like in Colorado. And
Oh,
I'll
okay,
do
I'll have to check that
yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to check
Yeah.
out yours because
Yeah.
those are pretty interesting to me. That's cool.
Yeah, that one's just under Brad McKinnon, that
Okay.
channel. But that's only got 100 subscribers.
I have like 13.
But that was so much effort and so much work. I love doing it, you know. But
Yeah.
then the kids came along and didn't have time for that anymore.
Okay.
Um, but then I thought, hang on, why don't I film myself working and patching holes at work? Because
Yeah.
I don't have to edit any of that. All I got to do is film it. I do a voiceover in my editing suite, and it's done. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my YouTube channel.
Drywall Shorty's doing it over here. Why can't I?
Yeah,
I mean, that
yeah,
a lot of the girls, that's how they get into it, is they're like, oh, I saw the taping queen doing it or whatever. They're like, I can do it too. You know, the tiniest taper, the same thing. She's just like really good at making videos and they're funny.
yeah.
You know, they're like great, right?
But it was hard YouTube trying to find that point of difference and getting people to subscribe to you. And so I
Yeah.
really tried to really do good instructional videos on how to fix a hole, how to tape a
Okay.
joint in, and how to second coat. So I found the easiest way was to film myself doing it, camera on the head even, so you've got
Okay.
that point of view, and then and then do a really detailed voiceover. And it seems to be working
Mhm.
because my subscribers have grown to over 5,000 on YouTube now.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's fantastic. And that
yeah,
is Brad McKinnon Plastering YouTube page.
YouTube. Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
be sure to go over and subscribe to Brad McKinnon Plastering on YouTube. And also, if you want to learn about hiking in New Zealand, you can just go head over to the Brad McKinnon. Might be a little older videos, but you can see about some
Yeah.
hikes in New Zealand.
Yeah. Yeah. If anyone's coming over, then check those out because it'll give you an
Yeah.
idea of what's, yeah, what to do.
I mean, this is the brilliant aspect about social media nowadays is that like you want to be a journalist, you can be a you want to have a talk show, you can have a talk show.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can do
Yeah.
whatever you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
5,000, that's fantastic. Excellent. So, you like the voiceover, which I agree with. Uh, I've done a couple voiceover videos, but mostly it's on the intro and outro of the podcast because you're
Yep.
seeing on YouTube, you'd see the video, but then there's a voiceover of
Yep.
the intro and outro. I just like doing them. They're a lot of fun. And then we have sponsors now. I love doing the sponsorship, like commercial. I don't know
Yep.
why. It's
Yep.
fun.
Yeah. I've listened to about, I think I'm up to about my 25th podcast of yours.
Well, and that's to me, it means a lot, but it's a testament to like it's got to be entertaining. Like we have to talk about
yeah.
cool shit. I got to like
Yeah.
tease out like good stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
nobody's going to listen. And
Yeah.
if people are listening, then it's valuable. And I was going to say it doesn't matter how many so my personal page on YouTube only maybe has 13 subscribers, but some of like I did a St. John's video. We went to St. John, and it has like 5,000 views. Like
Uh,
so that's still good, right?
yeah. 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 Definitely. Yeah.
I mean,
It's just so up and down, like
yeah,
one week a video will get 100 views and the next week it'll get 15,000 views.
right,
It just all depends on the thumbnail and I guess and the
right.
title and then even listening to James again, he was talking about the DIY market and so that's people are always wanting to renovate themselves and so that's what I'm trying to do more of, these little patching, how to fix this little hole in my wall,
Yeah.
all this sort of thing. And then there's even one I want to do coming up where I reckon you could do it for free. So you don't have to buy anything. You could fix a hole in your wall for free just by using some stuff around the house. Obviously, you'd need a little bit of plasterboard, which you can just go get off a building site.
Duct tape. Just get some duct tape,
Duct tape. Yeah, I've seen
some
those.
regular
Duct
paper, just regular paper.
I've seen those ones. Duct tape and paint. Done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Oh my goodness.
But there's so many, like I see it all the time where I go and I have to repair a hole that's been fixed by the homeowner, and you just pull out a big lump of putty and then a whole pile of newspaper that they've stuffed in the wall. You
Yeah.
know?
Spray foam.
Yeah. But I've come up with a way you can do it properly, and so that'll
Okay.
be a video coming out on YouTube. So if anyone's keen to see that, they'll have to subscribe. So I've got all these
And then,
ideas.
yeah, it's also Brad McKinnon plastering on Instagram as well.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
follow you now on Instagram. You've got about 2,600
Yeah.
followers, which is good. That's great.
Yeah, that's hard. It's been like that for ages.
It's a slog.
I don't. Yeah, I don't post every day, but I'm trying. I'm trying to post interesting stuff. And
Selling a product, I find Instagram to be very effective, hugely effective. Like, because your reach is so strategic, and if somebody likes your stuff or, because I don't get a lot on the Drywall podcast page as well, but I know there's a lot of eyeballs on there. And I've heard that the algorithms are changing. It's not about your friend list, it's about what the people that are watching want to see.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily about how many followers you have. It's about the content that you're creating.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just what I've heard.
Yeah.
Very cool. What were we talking about before we went off on the James Wyhonig? That guy, he'll
Uh,
get in. He'll get in there. He's just so infectious.
I think we were talking about me coming home and then starting work on my own. At that time, yeah, people were saying there's not much work around. It was where I'm from. There's a lot of new build happening.
Okay.
They say it's the fastest growing residential area in New Zealand,
Okay.
and there's a lot of because it's such a beautiful place. Everyone's moving here, and new builds were just shooting up everywhere,
Okay.
and everyone wanted to get in on that market. The sort of cream. These new houses and stuff,
Yeah.
and no one really wanted. There was no one advertising for patching works and reno works. So I thought, okay, look, I'll I'll advertise for that stuff and see what I can get because I didn't
Okay.
want to move away. I just moved home to the family. I didn't want to go
Yeah.
move away again. And then yeah, people started ringing up saying, "Oh, I can't get anyone to come and patch this hole. Can you do it?" Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Great.
And then all these guys and girls that were doing the new houses heard about me and said, "Oh, ring this guy, ring Brad. He'll do that. He'll do that." And then that was 2013 or around that time. And from then on till now, it's still what I'm doing. I don't do any new stuff. It's just all
Smart.
renovation work, patching work. Um,
Well, and you don't have to have employees, and you can charge. I mean, they
yeah,
do it here in the United States too. You can charge a premium for, just 5 hour patch or something. Go out and have
yeah,
you tried the mud skip? Speaking of renos, so that's been coming into focus on a lot of the pages
yeah.
because of
I
the
have,
because of being able to do multiple coats without letting it dry.
yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't used it.
You haven't
Um,
tried it yet.
no, no, I haven't
Okay.
tried it. But because I'm doing a lot of little jobs at a time, I'll sort of put them all in the same week. For
Yep.
example, I might do 4 or 5 bathrooms in a week. So I'll go to each one on the Monday and coat it up, first coat it. Then on
Yeah.
the Tuesday, I'll go and second coat them all. I'll sort of do a loop, and then I
Yeah.
can do them all in that sort of week. Um, and I do a lot of jobs like that where I'm sort of driving around. Some of them I might only be there an hour, but it works out all right because you sort of need to charge a 2 hour minimum for that sort of thing. So
Of course. Okay, so you
yeah,
charge a minimum. You do have a minimum price for your jobs.
and pretty much my whole thing is hourly rate now. Um,
Okay.
I just work on an hourly rate. Yeah, it does work, and I enjoy these sort of little jobs. I enjoy these
Hmm.
jobs that no one wants to do. They're
Yeah.
challenging.
You would be a good candidate for Fresco. If we had if we had the reach over there, I mean, I would even recommend you getting some from CSR. Maybe I can talk to CSR. We could like ship you out some or something from there, but make a sample, do a
Yeah,
wall. Like it would just be right
yeah.
down your, I'm not trying to like, sell you on my product or
No,
anything, but like,
I've
like it
really
would,
been
you would have fun with it for sure. I can tell.
been so interested in it lately, and yeah, it's been your mud's all white, isn't it? Do you get the yellow tinted mud over there?
We do. I've found, and I've talked with like people associated with USG, but I use the USG all-purpose lightweight. So that mud is pretty universal. So I wanted to choose a mud that was most prevalent, so that my base color chart would be consistent from like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
East Coast to West Coast. What I've found is, yeah, the regular all-purpose has a yellower base, but mud, for whatever reason, the same all-purpose lightweight sold in Lowe's has a tint to it. And
yeah,
they might do that. And I've also heard people say, oh, well, mud from different quarries has a different base. That has not been my experience. My experience has been always USG +3 lightweight has a white base. It's
Yeah.
very consistent, which is key when you're making color. But what I tell people is like, it doesn't matter if you have a mud that you like to use that mud and but just use it all the time. And your color will be,
Yeah.
because if I have to do a patch 5 years from now, I want the color to be the same.
Yeah. Because a long time ago, because we have the white mud and the yellow tinted mud as well.
Okay.
I remember you using the white mud, and I ran out, and I needed a little bit more to finish off, and I just had some yellow mud. And instead of tracking the white mud off my hawk, I just threw some yellow mud on top and
Yeah.
troweled on the joint. And I went,
Little
"Hey,
swirl. Yeah, a little
look at
swirl.
that! I've just done a marble joint. What? Look at that! I couldn't believe it.
Well, imagine if you had like control of all these colors. Like it's,
Yeah,
that's the cool part is like,
yeah,
and what Jamie's doing is so, I'm not paying him. He's genuinely having fun just doing stuff. And we're talking offline. I'm like, dude,
yeah, yeah,
keep it simple. If you're selling it, you want to like really tone it down. You can do crazy stuff on an accent wall or like a pillar. You could do a marbling, but like, you really want to keep it simple and sell volume. That's what makes money. People like accent walls, but the problem with plaster is it's so expensive that they might rather pay $2,000 and get the whole room done, than one accent wall like that.
yeah, yeah,
But what he's doing is extraordinary with the polishing, and all
yeah,
that. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah. And then that sealer just finishes it off. Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard your story about the sealer and how you got to it, and but yeah, the different glosses and that.
years.
that
It took years of like playing, with different sealers and then it's just labor of love, but that sealer that we sell now is great. It's really cool stuff. And it can be hot. I leave it in my truck. It can get hot, it can get cold. I think it's froze and I've still used it. I mean, there are issues and there's a learning curve, but that acrylic is cool stuff. It's really fun, you know.
but Dita has been talking to a company here trying to get them, oh, first of all, to stock the Comay tools, but also to stock Fresco Harmony, and
Right.
he knows about it, and he was keen as, so
Yeah.
hopefully soon
Yeah,
it'll be here.
I mean, Dieter's been great. He reached out to me a long time ago and we started chatting and I was like, well, first step is you got to come on the podcast.
Yeah,
So we chatted, but his whole approach to marketing Come in North America, what they're doing, I'm just so inspired by. They're being really smart,
yeah,
I love effective marketing. It just what James does really makes me excited. What some of these companies are doing is really cool. I love watching it. Um, and the support and the camaraderie of drywallers globally, not just
yeah,
that's why I enjoy interviewing people from all over, not just the United States, because this is a community, a one
yeah,
globe community. It's cool. It can supersede borders and things like that. But like this adventure in England, this retail adventure at GWI, like let's get everybody. Why not? Why not
yeah,
meet up at a small location in England? They're getting marketing support over it, and tool companies are able to. I think Tape Tech's going to be involved. Fresco Harmony, Comay. Let's get everybody involved and have fun, and maybe play around with some colored mud, and give away
yeah,
some stuff. Why not?
yeah,
And
yeah, awesome,
everybody wins.
yeah, yeah.
How did so Dieter reached out to you because of your
Yeah, I presume because of the YouTube and the Instagram channel,
okay.
and and obviously they're trying to get into the New Zealand market. So
Okay.
yeah, he reached out to me, and he's a cool dude,
Yeah.
and that's how I sort of found your podcast. Actually, it might have been because James posted something about it, but then I was dealing with Dita quite a lot, just
Okay.
on on text chat.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything about him, and then I saw him on the podcast, and you get to learn. I learn about
Yeah.
him, and yeah, I just
The
sort of figured he was a sales guy, but he's been through it all and done it all. So it was really
no,
good to learn about that.
he's a pro, man.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah,
people's personalities is so funny too. Like you get to see these like unique personalities. It's not just somebody on YouTube. Brad Mckinnon is a real person. He's had these life experiences, and then what you bring to the table is very important for people to hear.
yeah,
This cornice work, this plastering work that you've done. It's very cool. Um, yeah, it's super cool, man. I love it. And I would love to sell in the New Zealand market. So, whatever happens with Comet and Dieter, whatever's going on, I think that if you are anywhere in the United States or the globe, you can reach out through CSR currently and order product through them. That's a good resource.
yeah.
But yeah, it would be cool. And I've heard nothing but good things about New Zealand. I would love to go over there and check it out. Nice. A couple of questions. You've listened to a couple podcasts now, which I appreciate. Which podcast stands out to you that you really like?
I really enjoyed James's one, hearing his
Okay.
story, and I really enjoyed Steph Abbott's one, hearing her story, and
She's awesome.
what a woman she is, just everything
Power.
she's been through and everything she's done. And well, any woman having kids and having a business, at the same time,
Yeah.
yeah, amazing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and even going all the way back, to Gary and Alice, and just
Hmm.
hearing them, because like I said, I've seen these people on Instagram every day for the last 3 years,
Yeah.
you know, so it's
Yeah.
nice to learn a bit.
Gary was fun. Like really unique. Some of the stuff that he was doing was really unique.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even Cam, I just
Yeah.
hearing him and so yeah, all they've all been really really interesting in their own way. The main and then Dita and obviously Simon, because of my involvement with Kome, that was really interesting to me. I found those really really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, Simone was interesting. His you can tell the wheels are just really turning. I don't know. Do
Yeah.
you watch? Do you watch it? I guess you haven't watched any of the videos on YouTube.
Uh, no, I watched Dita's one on YouTube, but then I
Oh,
started
okay.
listening to them to more on Spotify in
Yeah,
the car.
yeah.
A
But
lot
his
easier to.
it's just like speaking five languages and all of that. Just it's really
Yeah.
impressive. Like
Yep.
really really cool dude.
Yeah, and they're doing some really cool stuff at the moment, and
Hmm.
can't wait to. I'm really enjoying their tools, and I
Okay, there you go.
can't wait.
Shout out to Kome.
Yeah.
Um, so you're kind of a hawk and trowel guy then.
Yep. Walking trail. Yep.
Okay, all right,
Yep. Have always been. So
all right, all right. Because Rob, that's how Rod. That's it. He showed you.
yeah. Yep. Showed me. Yep. Yeah. I've never ever used a pan. Um,
Oh, okay.
it's always been a hawk. I do have the knives. I do pull them out for a couple of things where they need to be used, but
Yeah.
mostly trails. Yep.
Well, it's good for mixing up quick set, the pan.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
I
See,
learned with a pan. It was totally natural. And then I had to learn the hawk and trowel like way
in,
later.
in yeah in New Zealand, we use quickset quite a bit for first coating. That's just a common practice here, I think, for a lot of people. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
we'll mix up a bucket of 90-minute set and then do all our taping in with that.
Yep. Very
Maybe it's
cool.
changing now. Maybe people are going more to the multi-purpose sort of, or the all-purpose taping mud, especially in the summertime. Maybe that, but,
Yeah.
but we're sort
Higher
of growing up.
in Colorado, we would use the quick set because of the ground settling, because it would freeze and you get
Oh,
more movement. They wanted more strength on the base coat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But generally, that's what I still do. I use a 90 or a 45-minute set for taping in, and then I finish off with second and third coat with multi-purpose air drying
Okay.
compound. But,
Cool.
yeah,
Well, I have a new mission to get Fresco Harmony to New Zealand. Let's do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to visit Christchurch City just to see all the heathens.
Well, Trail Trades is the company that wants to start stocking Fresco. So
Trial trades.
yeah,
That's what we need to. That's who do I talk over? Who do I talk to over at Trial Trades? We'll give them a shout
yeah,
out.
yeah. You can talk to Ricky or Trevor. So
Ricky or Trevor.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. This has been awesome. One thing I ask everybody, as you know, is a pearl of wisdom. What's yours, Brad? What do you got?
My one is to look after your body. And my wife Trudy is a Pilates instructor,
Okay.
and this is what she tells me, and she's absolutely right. Is that we spend a lot of money, a lot of time and effort looking after our tools and our vehicles. We service our vehicles every year,
Love it.
but what do we do with ourselves? We got to look after ourselves. We got to
Junk
stretch.
food, beer, junk food,
Not so much the food, but it's
energy drinks.
it's going to the physio. It's going like we do it. This
Yeah.
job we do is hard, man. It's bloody
Yeah.
tough on the body. And
Yeah.
since I've met Trudy, I've been doing not not so much the working outside of Pilates. It's the stretching side. Getting on the foam
Yes.
roller and rolling out.
And even yoga is
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
all good for drywall finishing or gib
Absolutely.
jib stopping.
Jib stopping, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Jib
it's that
stopping.
whole work-life balance, isn't it? So
Yeah. Yeah.
when I was younger, it was just 7 days a week, go hard, go earn the
Right.
money. But now you need that rest. It's
Yeah.
a hard job. You need to
Yes.
recover on the weekends, and yeah,
Fantastic. And water, you guys, if maybe I don't say it enough on the Drywall podcast, drink lots of water. Yeah, I don't know, started drinking water a long time ago, but you get a lot of water in you. It's
absolutely.
good. There's a Pilates here. I'll do yoga here sometime, very rarely. I enjoy it. There was a Pilates class, hot Pilates here, that I did two of them, and it nearly killed me. Like
What hot Pilates?
hot Pilates. You
Is
just
that what in the
well,
sauna or something?
yeah, they have hot yoga here too, where it's like 120 degrees a room, and you're doing yoga. They call it hot yoga, but they have also hot Pilates. Insane. Like people throw up. It's insane. Like
I've never tried that.
so hard, but phenomenal. Like you feel like amazing afterwards, but
Yeah,
really,
I bet.
really hard. I only did it two times, but very hard. Pilates I know is a fantastic practice.
Yeah. No, it's definitely helped me to strengthen up my body, because
Yeah.
buckets of mud aren't getting any lighter, are they?
No, they're getting heavy. Brad McKinnon plastering out of Tauranga.
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 Yeah.
And Tauranga.
Yeah.
Tauranga. That's a tough one.
It's
I like it. Auckland, 3 hours from Auckland, New Zealand,
Yep.
in the Bay of Plenty region.
Yep, correct. Yeah.
I'll have to work on that. But thank you so much for coming on the Drywall podcast, man. This has been great. Really, really appreciate your time, man.
Thanks for having me. And I just want to thank you for doing what you're doing. This podcast is really, really cool. Bringing this drywall community together.
I hope so.
It's
Thank you.
really, really interesting and really cool. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
Love it. And I appreciate you for listening and everybody that's listening out there. If you want to come on the podcast, I reached out to Brad. We met recently and he was cool. He came on. Were you nervous?
I was, but I was excited as well. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right. All
yeah,
right. It went
I
pretty
was.
good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I never
It's
know.
interesting. Yeah, well, that's what it was. I was wondered what we were going to talk about, and yeah, we talked about different things than I thought we were going to talk about, which is fine.
Well,
It's cool.
I like the OE. I'm all
Yeah,
about that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Get
yeah.
the hell out of your hometown and go travel. There's a saying that those who, it might be Mark Twain, the world is a vast book. Those that do never stray from home read only a page.
Well, I've been to 50 countries now, I think it is, and I think Trudy's
That's
been to
it.
about the same. So
That's
we've
all.
both,
Just 50.
yeah, 50. Yeah, yeah. We both, because she was the same. She did her OE as well, and we actually
Yeah.
even, we knew each other before we went. We met overseas, and then we didn't sort of hook up till we got back to New Zealand. So it was this whole thing, and we made a list of the countries we'd been to, and yeah, she's pretty much done the same as me.
Crazy. We'll have to save that for part two, Brad. Part two, uh the couple will just it could just be based on OE and the you guys coming together, meeting. It'll be the relationship episode. Part
Oh,
two.
right. I don't know who would listen to that.
They'd listen, man. And hey, shout out to James. That stupid sander. I'm gonna cut that part out and send it to him just so he can use it. Really good stuff, man. The apex. The apex.
The apex. Yeah, 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 yeah. The
Peak.
tip.
The tip. All right, sir. Well, you have a good rest of your day. Have a fantastic work day, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, man. Catch you later.
All right, bye. Huge shout out to Brad for coming on the podcast today. You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar. Curious about coming on the podcast? Well, you just saw Brad do it. He told his story. I'm glad he did. Now you get to reap all of the benefits of knowing who Brad is and why he's such a badass. Maybe people would like to know why you're a badass. So if you are inclined, you can contact me at info@frescoharmony.com and be like, Nick, I want to come on the podcast. And I'll be like, okay, let's do it. It's just that easy. We are coming to a close here on the month of July on the Drywall Podcast. And I want to give a special shout out to Ames for being our July sponsor on the Drywall Podcast. But don't fret, we are going to have Ames back in August, and they will be sponsoring the month of August. Stay tuned to find out what they have in store for us next month. We are going to be doing cool highlights on some tools that they have. Maybe we'll be giving something away. I don't know. But what I do know is that if you are not inclined to buying automatic taping tools, you can rent them. I know it sounds kind of like a broken record, but it's a good broken record because there's good information attached to it. Today, Ames is still leading the industry, not just with their tools, but their rental program built for real job site demands. Whether you're running a crew or just getting started, you can rent the tools. Plus, they offer a training. Whether you want a quick overview or in-depth support, they will make sure you're confident after you rent the damn tools. With the largest ATF tool rental network in the US, there's an Ames store nearby that's ready to get you going. Need more information on tool rental by Ames? Visit shopamestools.com or stop by your local Ames dealer to learn more. You have a lot of choices when you go to the radio to turn that dial and switch it over to something to listen to. Today, you chose to listen to the Drywall Podcast, and I am super appreciative that you did. Thank you very much for joining me and Brad on this podcast. Join us next week as we have Sunil of Drywall Masters Tools on the program. For the first time, we have new episodes every Friday, or almost every Friday, on the Drywall Podcast. I'm trying to bring you guys awesome new content and keep this thing fun and interesting and create knowledge and all of that good stuff. I hope you all have a phenomenal weekend if you're heading into the weekend. And remember, keep drywalling.